When I picked this hoof up, I knew exactly where that problem was. But what I could not foresee was the damage underneath. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. When we look at it from this angle, it's no wonder why. Look at how much deeper that inside claw is, the one on the left. That is where all that pressure is being applied, so it makes sense that that's where the problem's going to be. So first things first, let's get this all balanced back out, and then we'll tackle that problem. As expected, that is where the problem lies, and in a few minutes, you'll be just as surprised as I was at what's underneath. That little mark looks pretty innocuous at this point, doesn't it? I'm taking real thin swipes here because I know I'm almost through. You ready for the unveil? You'll understand why I titled this video the way that I did. You'll notice as I make these next few cuts, how that tip of that knife, how that lifts that hoof horn up as I make these cuts. It keeps the cutting surface away from that lesion itself. Now, it's really just a matter of freeing this lesion from any of these loose bits of hoof horn that have released from that foot so that they're not causing any more damage to that area or pinching or anything like that when she takes a step or bumps it on anything. If we remove all of that loose horn, then that corium there can start to heal again and produce a nice hard outer layer that she can walk on and not cause her any discomfort in the process. A few more swipes of this, we'll have this freed up, and then you know all the steps after that. We're gonna get a block on that other claw, get this all treated, and then we're gonna come back and take a look at her 2 weeks later, just so you can see how much a cow can improve with just a little bit of treatment. We'll zoom in here and give you one last good look at this before we get this first trim all buttoned up. Got one little piece of hoof horn left to remove here. Then we're gonna get this foot all wrapped up and move on to that 2-week recheck. So here we are, exactly 2 weeks later. Now, what were you thinking you were going to find? What I thought I was going to find was some healing, but I was thinking we'd have a long ways to go with this one yet, just because of how much trauma was in that area. If we zoom in here, you can see it's actually looking quite good. It looks like it's completely covered over at this point. We're going to do some more trimming here to make sure, but it healed much better than I thought it would. So why did I leave both the heel and the toe triangle higher during that first trim? It was to protect that lesion in case this block were to come off. If it did, we've got that area to protect that, and because I've got that block on that other claw, it's elevated already anyway, so there's not any pressure being applied to that claw. But if that block were to come off, well then we've got that area that's a little bit higher to keep her from walking on that lesion itself. We'd hate to have a block come off inadvertently and then have that area go completely untreated or unprotected for 2 weeks until I were to get back. That cow would be in severe pain in that case. So what this is simply an insurance policy. That block will elevate that claw, and that extra hoof on either spot will keep that area protected if the block were to fail. Now we can clean that all away safely and easily without any problems whatsoever. I don't want to monkey around this lesion area too much. I want to remove some of these jagged edges, but I don't want to get too aggressive in here because I know that that hoof horn cannot possibly be very thick the way it was just 2 weeks ago. You can see here, it's very thin layer of hoof horn. As we get this cleaned up, you'll be able to tell it's creating new hoof horn there, but it's not of the highest quality yet. It's still in that healing phase, but it is hoof horn nonetheless. Even still, I'm not going to mess around too much in there. It's not advantageous at this point. We'll allow that to continue to thicken up, and then we can get that all trimmed perfectly flat. The block is still sound, so it can remain in place. We'll zoom in real close here and you'll be able to see that new hoof horn that's in place. It's actually still red in appearance, almost looks like a lesion itself, but that's actually very fine layers of hoof horn. You can see around the edges how it's kind of that pink color. That's what that looked like when it first started as well. And then we got a bit of a change up for this one. 9-year-old Ziva sent me a box of hoof wraps that she wanted me to use. She wanted pink hoof wrap this time, and I can oblige. Thank you, Ziva, for sending me that, and here you go. Here's that pink hoof wrap going on. We're going to get this all wrapped up, then we're going to let her go. You can be able to see how she looked during that first trim, and then we'll be able to see how she's walking after the second trim, and I think we can all agree she's feeling much, much better. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.